These moments can feel so long, and in a moment they need to react immediately. Clean, fierce start. The Coxes have to execute and make sure that it is absolutely crystal clear. They've rehearsed over and over and over again the first stroke, the second stroke, the third stroke, the wind to get the rate up high, to get the power on, to give themselves enough of a boost out of the start to then find the rhythm. But at the moment they're powering flat out, full length, full power, and we can see the Kingston Grammar School crew here going absolutely flat out.
That's something we always love to see as well. Clean starts from both crews is a rowing fans and fanatics' dream. No one wants to see it go badly, and that looked like it went really well for both crews. I know there'll be family and there'll be friends, and those fans will be watching from all around the world. And this looks like two quality outfits.
This looks fierce, doesn't it? So yeah, you're very welcome, parents, family, supporter, friends of Kingston Grammar School and Latymer Upper School. We can see 2 8s going flat out. They're high rate out the start. They're having to stay high because they are absolutely side by side, and they'll gradually be coming into a rhythm, but they can't lose any quarter now. Kingston Grammar School are in the red, and Latymer Upper School will be on the right hand of our screen. We can see there the stroke girl, Audrey Coursey, is trying to get them into a powerful rhythm that will take them down the course. She's backed up by Isabella Pritchard, Amy Fraser, Anne Thevenon, Sophie Kelly, Cara Ehrenreich, Lottie Wellman and Indy Catford, and they're coxed by Nina Chamarette, who was a Henley Women's Regatta finalist in a couple of years ago. Very experienced, and they are being asked questions of by Latymer though, aren't they?
Yeah, Latymer certainly are asking questions, but this is still side-by-side racing. There's not an athlete in the crew that will be looking either left or right to their opposition. There'll be eyes in the boat just staring down. They'll know exactly where they are. And advantage Latymer, but far too close to call. This is proper racing. We can't make the mistake of thinking that because it's Henley Tuesday that there aren't side-by-side races going on. This is special to watch.
It's a brilliant race. It is day one. There is no repechage, so you have to put it all out there. Nobody wants to go home. We have a lovely shots there of the Kingston crew, a well-drilled crew by Bethan Thomas, their coach. Very experienced coach. She had brilliant success with an under-19 world champs crew last summer, and a sort of one of a growing number of really high-quality women coaches, which is great to see in the sport. And her crew are under some pressure now, though, from Latymer Upper School, coached by Nick Laws.
They are under pressure now, and both crews still rowing very, very well. It's hard to tell from this angle, but maybe half a length in it. And it's easy from the commentary box to say that the crews that are up are rowing really well. But I still think fantastic effort from both sides and too early to call.
They're doing a great job, aren't they? Latymer Upper School, got Bow, Eleanor Gilberty, Vittoria Cortesi, Eloise Smith, Danny Sullivan, Talia Wyers, Sienna Denham-Davis, Agnes Mayan, Imogen Spate, and Cox by Jake Mee. And my goodness, there is absolute push after push. They are both on really, racing their hearts out, and I think Kingston are, pushing back, if anything, at this point. So this is going to be about the tightness of the race plan. What do you do when you're racing in an 8? What is it that helps you when you're under pressure? What do you think about?
So, for starters, you know exactly where you are, and you know exactly what's to come. Right now, if I was in the Latymer boat on bow side, I'd be hoping that they could steer slightly away from the boom. Steering is part of it, but that's too close for my liking. And every time that they're steering, remember, that's the brake going on. So you just want a nice, a little bit of freedom. Remember as well, there aren't lanes to this course. There are stations, so Buckinghamshire and Berkshire Station. And those two stations are narrower than the Fisa course, only just. So my point is, there's not much room for error, and you want your coxes to be on their A game. That's cost Latymer School just a fraction.
Kingston Grammar School have just done an almighty sort of 30-stroker that's taken them from just behind to being just in front now, and so the psychological momentum swings towards them because what they did just worked. They'll be feeling good. However, I think what we're now about to observe is a counter-punch, a counter-push that's going to come from Latymer, who are going to have absorbed that and thought, right, we have to find something now. But the psychological momentum is with the crew in the red from Kingston Grammar School, isn't it?
psychological and it's physical momentum as well. Don't forget these are big boats and they're heavy, so momentum really counts in an 8. I've heard that all morning, but it's absolutely true. What I'd be thinking about now, if I was in the Latymer crew, I would be thinking about the strength of the athletes around me and making sure I'm contributing to that. There's so much training being done to get to this position. We're within, you'll be able to tell me better, but this is coming up to, I think, 500 metres to go, that kind of range in metric money.
So Kingston Grammar School have been able to continue holding on to that push and even easing out further. They found a slightly stronger rhythm. They found a little bit more relaxation with that. They have the confidence now that what they are doing has worked, and there's a little more tension in the shoulders of the crew from Latymer Upper, who are still putting all of their effort in. They are going to have something else in their race plan. They'll have planned to have a big push if they're down. What we need to do, what we need to think of technically. What are the sort of things you'd be thinking of if you're down at this point? What do you want a Cox to call for you here?
I want to hear what the planned calls are. I want to make sure that the engine room, the middle 4 of that boat are working together, and reassurance that nobody's giving up. So it's still to play for within touching distance at this stage, but you need everybody to be thinking the same thing at the same time, and that is the Cox's job.
Very solid there. The finishes have been held in a little bit more on the Kingston Grammar School, and you can see that there, the level at which the oar ends relative to the body. They are finishing off every stroke. They know that what they've done down the middle of the course has worked for them, and they now have a plan to keep pushing, whilst Latymer Upper have got to try and find a little bit more bite in the stroke. They have given so much that gave them that brilliant start, and now Jake Mee at Cox has got to help them dig into a rhythm and lift it. But at the moment, the Kingston crew are moving further and further away.
Blade work still looking very good from both sides, from both crews, and this is something new for me actually. The straws on the boats to show how much they're rowing long or rowing short. The blade work looks good. Dying stages now. It's kitchen sink time.
Audrey Course has led her crew, stroking this Kingston Grammar School. From being down, they held their heads. They did a monster push through the middle that really asked questions of Latymer Upper School. And as they come past enclosures, they are going to be counting down now. They'll be feeling an increasing confidence alongside that increasing exhaustion. Really punchy all the way to the line. And so it is a win there for Kingston Grammar School, a brilliantly tough, punchy row to defeat Latymer Upper School.
Gutsy racing. That's the first race that I've seen in full, and it's a pleasure to be back. That hurts, but I think Latymer Upper can be really proud of themselves. They took it out, didn't give up. That's real rowing, and it will be bitterly frustrating to be de-rigging soon. But class act, they can be proud of themselves, and well done to Kingston.